This is the hall that Moi Kibaki slept when he was a student. Citizen. Moi Kibaki slept here, and kindly tell us much about this hall. The okay, what's the name and how it has been all along?
Currently, this hall is called nsibirwa, and it's very interesting. Students have their culture, which is worth talking about.
Okay.
But it was this hall, much as it is nsibirwa. Initially, it was not nsibirwa. It was called North Cote from the beginning, from its inception. Now, this North Cote hall was having students who love themselves, who coined even a motto: we win or they lose. Winning was their ultimate goal. They never expected loss. So these students, they would endeavor to be the best in everything: academics, sports, mention any activity that takes place around campus. They always wanted to win. And they had a culture of doing morning drills. They would wake up every morning at around 5, run around Kampala, come back, bathe, and then they go for the academics. And that culture of morning drills was escalated into a military culture when the NRM, National Resistance Movement, came to power in 1986. It started taking students for basic military training before they could join. They would take students for basic military training and political education before they could join campus. Now, having acquired basic military skills, from Chambon School of Political Education, the new entrance of North Cote introduced a military culture. And every member of the hall would be given a rank, right from a private up to the topmost, which was called a general.
Okay.
The North Cote general was the chairman of the hall. And depending on what you did in the hall, you would be rewarded with a rank.
Okay.
So the students were not willing to lose anything. So when they would have sports around campus, there is another big hall called Rumo, which can accommodate around 2,000 students. Now North Cote can accommodate about 500 students.
Okay.
But because of the militarized culture of North Cote, whenever there would be disagreement between halls, Lumumba Hall and North Cote, they would end up in fights. But the North Cote, because of the militarized culture, they would beat up the 2,000 students of Lumumba. And whenever they had sports, especially football, at the main sports ground, the students of North Cote would go there with a winning mentality, like he told you. They would never allow anyone to win them. So they would go with a lot of with the big drums and to boost morale and dancing, chanting, yelling. And if any hall seemed to be pointing towards a win, they would drive a tractor into the football pitch, and they would all flock into the pitch, and that would mark the end of the match.
So that went for how long? How long did that, whatever, go? take, like
That culture
that
remained,
culture?
remained for a long time, up to the year 1997.
Okay.
In 1997, North Cote was having, did something very funny. Rumumba and Mary Stewart had a reunion, and that under their solidarity with Moonbox. So they prepared their meals. So a student from North Cote wearing wearing leaves and twigs ran to Rumumba, went to the kitchen, and poured like 2 kilograms of red pepper into the sauce. And he rushed out before the Lumumbist could get him. So when he ran, the Lumumbists were angry and up in arms. They wanted to start a fight immediately, but they thought North Cote had poisoned their food because of the rivalry. So they came and picked the whole chairman or the state general, because North Cote believed that it was a state within a state. They would say that North Cote is a state within a state. It's the next state is Uganda. So they called the state general, took him to Lumumba, and they asked him to test the supposedly poisoned food. He tested it and he said, no, the food is okay, but it's like the cooks are putting too many spices. Now, the food could not be eaten because of too much red pepper. So, having spoiled the part of North Cote, the North Cote having spoiled the part of Lumumba, the Lumumbists were up in arms. They wanted to beat up North Cote. But the university acted very fast and closed North Cote immediately and sent everyone away. So when they sent everyone away, the whole remained vacant for that part of the semester, and the North Quarters were coming from home for that part of the semester.
So during Kibaki's time, it was called North Cote.
It was North Cote.
Okay, let's proceed.
Now, when the students were sent home, the students came again. But when they came again, the university saw it wise not to return the North Cote students with their older militaristic culture. So to break the culture of North Cote, they got students from other halls, and these former North Quarters were distributed throughout other halls. And when they came back, North Cote was no longer called North Cote, it was called Hall X for about 1 or 2 years.
Hall X.
Hall X.
Okay.
And then when they called it Hall X, it stayed as Hall X for about 2 years. And then thereafter, they named it after Nsibirwa. Nsibirwa was a cacique of Uganda who had given the land to government from Buganda Kingdom to build the university. And because of that, Nsibirwa, they say Nsibirwa was killed because the Uganda were not willing to give out land. So in honor of Nsibirwa, the university decided to name the hall after Nsibirwa. But then, one thing I have forgotten to mention is that when North Cote was still North Cote, early in the 90s, when Museveni had come to power, the North Cote, when Museveni was the chancellor then
Of Makerere.
He would come to address university students, and when he would come to address university students with his presidential convoy, his soldiers would actually line up in a parade, and the North Cote boys would also make a parallel parade next to theirs, and they would actually walk. They would as the Presidential Protection Unit regimental sergeant major would be straightening the lines of the Presidential Protection Unit. The North Cote boys would also cross over would walk over from their side where they had made a parallel parade and start straightening the lanes of the PGB, the Presidential Protection Unit. And the soldiers would be angry and would want to beat them, but Museveni that time was still a jovial man. He would say, just deal with them, they're just having fun. And then the students would say, the president, they don't fear the president because he's the head of the neighboring state and he's their headmaster.
Wow.
That's what you can say. The date on which it was published.
Now, sir, why was because initially this was all North Cote, right?
Let him be at this.
Okay. Sir, initially this was all North Cote, right?
Yeah, it was. No, not all. The other one was Nkuruma.
The other one was
Up to now, it is called Nkuruma Hall.
Okay.
But this one, it was North Cote Hall.
This one.
Yes.
This is where Kibaki slept.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, why was it now changed? Why was Nkuruma called Nkuruma and this one called nsibirwa?
The other one to be called Nkuruma, I don't know.
Okay, but nsibirwa?
Nsibirwa, to change the name from North Cote to Nsibirwa, it was because of the strikes. There were too much strikes. Almost every semester. Strike, bad food, that. So they changed the name from North Cote to Nsibirwa Hall.
Okay. Thank you so much. Nkuruma Hall. So this is Nkuruma Hall. Yeah, and I'm going to show you the outer part of it. See how big the Nkuruma Hall is. The sculpture of Nkuruma. I think we shall be winding our video here for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, and share.